Happy Tuesday. Hope all of you are having a great day so far. Um, Today's episode of General Hospital. It was good to an extent. Um, who do I start with first? I always get baffled by this every time I come on because it's like I don't know who to dive into first. I think I'm gonna go with Kiki and Dylan. I do want to talk about that actually because that whole Nurse Amy shit was kind of stupid. I'm like, please tell me, because I could kind of see where the writers might go with this. A, they might go with a love triangle. I don't see it because Dylan just seems like he likes her as a friend. You know, they're old high school friends or whatever. And B, I could see it going into more of a fatal attraction kind of thing with Amy because she basically said to her friend Christina, I wonder which Christina she's talking to, um, that Kiki is all wrong for Dylan. How? And her explanation for that was because Kiki doesn't like Game of Thrones. Who cares? You're basing that off of Game of Thrones because he likes Game of Thrones and she doesn't? That's what you're basing that off? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. I remember somebody told me it's this new generation. Like they're just I'm happy to be born in the 90s because I grew up in a simple time. But a lot of these people that was born late 90s, early 2000s, they just dumb. I'm just saying, like, I had somebody tell me, and this kid couldn't have been no more than probably 18, 19. Tell me, because I don't have an iPhone, I have an Android. So he says that you're not going to get a girl because you have an Android and women like to date men that have iPhones. I said that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. So you mean to tell me a woman dates a guy based off the type of phone he has? I said I hope you're joking when you say shit like that because that sounds stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like seriously, very dumb. And that sounds like a young-minded person that would say some stupid shit like that. And that's what kind of irritated me about Amy. Like I was like, I hope Nurse Amy is joking when she said that Kiki and Dylan are not good for each other because she doesn't like Game of Thrones and he does. So what? You know how many goddamn women out here like Maury, and you know how many men don't? That don't stop them from being together. So what? You don't like a show and your mate does. So what? Opposites attract. You don't have to have everything in common. Hell, look at Tracy, polar opposite of Luke. She's classy, sophisticated, got money. He's a con man, a liar, a hobo, a grifter, a reprobate, as far as Edward used to call him, a reprobate. And look, they love each other. Even though they're divorced, they still love each other. And he's all those things and more. See, opposites attract. Look at Brenda. Beautiful, sophisticated, supermodel, sunny, a mobster with dimples, erratic behavior. What else can I say about him? A jackass, bipolar, borderline crazy, a womanizer, and yet they attract. They attract each other. See, opposites attract. Um, but anyway, Nurse Amy, I just hope that the writers are not going in that route. Let Kiki and Dylan just be happy without throwing a third person in here because I don't need to be seeing all that. We do not need to see another person get a love triangle and all this bullshit. It's overdone. Franco was rude as hell when he walked into that Kelly's. When he walked into Kelly's diner, he was rude. Just sat down and interrupted them kissing, just rude as hell. I said, Franco, really? I will say this. I don't like Franco, but I applaud him this episode. I actually applaud him because Jason told him to stay away from his son, don't come around, and he's respecting that because Jason is Jake's father and he's respecting it. But even though I feel like, and a lot of people felt this way, that Jake does need professional help, I kind of don't see anything wrong with Franco helping him at this point because Franco is not really a doctor. So therefore, anything Franco, anything Jake tells Franco, Franco can tell Liz and Jason. Maddox can't really tell Liz and Jason because of doctor patient confidentiality. So I think they might want to go in that route and let Franco help him because he does take the Franco most, instead of talking to a real doctor. I was concerned about what Jake said in therapy about the scarecrow and the witch. I don't know who the hell was the scarecrow, but I'm pretty sure the witch was Helena. I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar on that. And he said that the witch and the scarecrow were friends. So I'm kind of like, okay, so who was Helena's friend with? And who the hell was the scarecrow? Some people think it was Valentine. That's the rumor. Uh, Possible. I'm not too sure at this point, but it's possible. I don't know. This whole storyline is convoluted as all hell. It makes no sense. Hopefully they hurry up and get to the point. I bet you, I bet you 6 months from now we still gonna be on this storyline. I'm willing to bet 6 months from now we still gonna be in this storyline. We probably ain't gonna know no more information than what we know today. I'm willing to bet my last dollar on that. Um. So anyway, Sam, this whole Julian storyline of somebody calling Alexis, the guy had on a hoodie, and apparently the person used Julian's credit card to book a bus ticket to Los Angeles. How many Back from the Dead storylines are we gonna have per year? Like seriously, haven't we seen this type of storyline already? Like we all know Julian is alive. We know he's not dead. And we all know William DeVry is still under contract. So can we just hurry this along and bring Julian back already? Because I really just don't see the point to the storyline. Like, unless that's not Julian and somebody else, like, can we get to the point of this storyline? Because I've seen this storyline too many times. Um, so now Sam is bringing Curtis in on this to help her investigate this. So at least with two of them together, hopefully this goes quicker. Nathan wants to know, um, well, he wants to talk to Alexis about it or whatever, but of course Sam ain't having none of that. Not right now, she's not, because she feels like her mother is too vulnerable to be dealing with this, and she don't want her mother to get false hope that Julian is still alive when they don't have answers. So I can understand why she's trying to shield her mother from this information for now. Speaking of Nathan, so I heard that Maxie, because Kirsten Storms has left the show temporarily because of a health condition. She's taking a sabbatical from the show again for a little while. So they wrote her out as moving to Oregon or something like that for a job. And apparently she got a place to live out there. I don't get it. Why would her and Nathan get a long distance marriage when they just got married? That makes no sense. Um, and I'm surprised at Maxie because she know it's a lot of hoes in Port Charles. And Valerie done slept with somebody's husband already. Who's to say she ain't lurking around to sleep with your husband? And they do work on the same police department together. I'm just saying, you might want to reconsider that job and come back to Port Charles ASAP. Um, so anyway, Tracy and Laura are in Turkey. This whole storyline makes zero sense. Um, it just makes no sense. Like this whole storyline is just dumb as hell. So Tracy, the guy gives Tracy a letter, and it's from Edward. And apparently, Edward wrote the letter 2 decades ago. Apparently, he wrote the letter like 2 decades ago, and this is when him and Tracy had a falling out at the time. And apparently, he bought the painting because it reminds him of Tracy. And the painting does look a hell of a lot like Tracy, like a younger Tracy. But I don't get the letter. In the letter, he said that he wrote her out of his will, but he didn't have time to write her back in it when he fled the country. But this was all 2 decades ago, and even when he died 5 years ago, she still wasn't in his will. All he left her was a jar of pickle Lila. So I'm kind of confused by this entire storyline. It's like, number one, why is this all coming out now? So you mean to tell me all these years Edward forgot about that portrait? He forgot about the letter. He's never mentioned none of this to Tracy. I mean, I know that we got new writers and whatever, but still, from a storyline standpoint, it don't make no damn sense because Edward would have told her all of this a long time ago. And why are we just now hearing about a portrait in a letter 5 years after his death? Wouldn't he have told Diane all of this? Like when he died, before he died, when he had her draft his will? I'm pretty sure he would have mentioned all of this to her years ago before he died. And he would have, at least gave the information to Diane, which he did not. All he left was a jar of pickle lila. That's it. No letter, no portrait, no none of that. So it makes no sense. None of this makes sense. Um, and what is with these portraits? These self portraits. I swear to God, every soap opera is doing a portrait. Y&R, they got a portrait. Um, every fucking show is doing a portrait. I don't get it. B&B got a portrait. Remember when Stephanie died? They created a portrait of Stephanie. And then Quinn got a portrait, and then Maya got a portrait, Nicole got a portrait. Um, Y&R, when Catherine died, they had a portrait of her. Um, Days of Our Lives got the Stefano Demira portrait. Well, that portrait had been around for years, but after he died, they put it back on the wall. Then you got GH, when Helena died, she had a portrait commissioned of herself for Nicholas. What is with all these? Did all these soap producers and writers band together and say, okay, well, when this character died, we're gonna have a portrait of this one. We should all do a portrait idea. Like, did they all get together and decide this? Because like every show right now has a portrait of a character or a major character or a minor character. Anyway, all of them got a portrait. It don't make no damn sense to me. Why they all need a portrait? For what? Why is every show? What is this, portrait year or something? Like, what is going on? Like, I want to know. Um. So anyway, Tracy want her damn portrait back. When she heard that they were trying to, sell, auction off the portrait or whatever for some charity cause that they're doing, Tracy said, "Hell no." She was like, "Hell no, I want my portrait." I think the private collector that the guy was talking about had to be Luke, because I did see a picture online of him with Caroline Hennessy, and he was on the G8 set, so I'm sure it's Luke. Um. So anyway, I don't know what to make of Hayden and damn Silas. I mean Finn. I really don't know what to make of them. Like, I like them as a couple, but it's obvious that she feel like she can't no longer help him with this, with his recovery and his rehab. She feels like he needs to go to a real facility. I agree. He does. Um, and then there's Jax. It was good to see Jax back, but I knew that the writers were going to throw him under the bus. And he basically admitted to Carly that he was the one who sent all that stuff to Frank Benson or whatever on Carly's behalf for the kidney, and made it seem like it was Carly asking for it, but it wasn't. And I think he sent it because he felt like if he sent it at the time by himself with his name on it, then Frank wouldn't have did it. But he felt like if he sent it posing as Carly, he felt like Frank would have did it, and of course he paid him off. Um, I knew they were gonna throw Jax under the bus for this bullshit. I knew that they was, and this whole storyline with the kidney thing was bullshit from the word go. It was just stupid as hell. Um, and you already know Carly gonna be pissed about it. What else is new? But I hope all you have a great day. This episode it was all right. It was pretty good. Not extraordinary, but it was okay. See you all later. Have a great day. See you later.